In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how the Shortpixel image processor compresses images, both or all three lossy, glossy, and lossless. And I'm going to compare the quality of each of those compression types and how much the compression actually works. And we're going to do that for JPEGs, PNGs, PDFs, and GIFs. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WP Learning Lab, where we help change lives by teaching WordPress and giving you the ability to up your skills and earn more money for yourself and your family. And if you like that kind of thing, you like WordPress and tips and tricks and getting better at it, make sure you hit subscribe, then the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything, and make sure you check out our private Facebook group. There's a link in the description down below. With that out of the way, let's head into the screen capture. I'll see you there. The first thing we want to do is install a new plugin. So let's go to Plugins, and then Add New, and then search for Shortpixel. And the one we want is this robot icon right here, Shortpixel Image Optimizer. I already have mine installed and activated. You'll likely have an Install Now button. If you're ready to install, click on it. If you want to back up your site first, back up your site first. If you're not sure how to back up your site, I have linked to a tutorial in the description down below for Updraft Plus, which is a free backup plugin. So back up your files and your site just in case something goes wrong. And I've already installed mine, like I said. After you've installed it, you will have a new setting or a new place to go called Shortpixel under the settings menu. Click on that to open it. And this is where we do some basic settings. First things first, there's an API key. Even if you have a free account, there's an API key. So if you go to Shortpixel and let's just look at the pricing table here, their free account allows 100 images per month. And down below there's an affiliate link to sign up for Shortpixel, and it will give you 50% more images per month, even on the free option. So even if you don't pay anything, it's still an affiliate link, believe it or not. If you don't pay anything, you're still getting 50% more. So you get 150 images per month. And if you do end up upgrading, Shortpixel will send me a small commission. It doesn't make it more expensive for you. It just helps me keep the lights on. And each one will also have plus 50%. So this one would be 7,500 images per month. This would be 18,000 per month. You get the idea. So the 100 pixels or 100 images per month plan still needs an API key. So when you log into your Shortpixel account after you create the free account, you head over to API key and then you just copy from here. You can reset it if you want. Copy from there, paste it in here. There's going to be a verify API link and you click it and you're done. And now we set up some basic settings. The most important one is just a default. You can change this as you go and on a per image basis, but it's the compression type. There's lossy, glossy, and lossless. I find lossy is a terrible name because it doesn't look any worse. Like the image looks great still, but it's the size that's been lost. So it's lossy in size, not in quality, but this is the highest compression level. And what it says here, this is the recommended option for most users, producing results that look the same as the original from the human eye. However, some pixels will be changed. So it looks the same to the human eye, but it's not quite the same. And if we go to glossy, it says this is the best option for photographers and professionals that use very high quality images on their sites and want best compression while keeping quality untouched. And lossless, this is pixel identical, which means almost nothing has changed. And they say for this, or this is good for technical drawings or images with vector graphics and some other situations. But this compression compresses very, very little, as you're going to see in the examples. So I usually have mine on lossy because I don't have a photography website. I don't need super perfect images, but I like to have small image sizes so they load faster. If you're installing this on an existing site, you're going to be able to include thumbnails in the initial image compression process. And on this site, there are 11,000 thumbnails. And that goes against your quota. So if you're on the free account at 100 or 150, if you went through the affiliate link per month, it's going to take a long time to get through 11,000. So choose to have that on or not, depending on what you want. Saving a backup is smart, as you're going to see in just a minute. We can actually revert back to the originals and we can actually cycle through these compression types and pick the one that works the best for whatever image. EXIF tag is just data that's associated with the image, like GPS location, camera manufacturer, date and time. Here's a list of it actually. And those things are actually included in every single image. unless you have that setting turned off in your camera. And anybody who sees that image online, they can actually download that image and access this data. So they could see what your location was when you're taking your family pictures, which is a little bit creepy. I'll admit it's a little bit creepy, but it's possible. The info's in there, and if you check this box, it will remove that info. And it also leads to smaller image sizes. And I'm pretty sure for the lossless image, almost the only thing it does is remove the EXIF data because the compression is so small. So we can resize large images. So if you are uploading enormous images, you can resize them to whatever size you want and choose the cropping, either horizontal or vertical. So pick the changes you want here and click on Save Changes, or save and go to Bulk Process, which we'll get to in a minute. Next, we're going to go to Advanced. If you have additional folders on your server that aren't, for example, the media library, you can add them here, and then it will compress images and PDFs within that folder. You can convert PNGs to JPEGs. This will reduce image size even more. If you check this box, it will only convert the ones that don't have any transparency, because PNGs, you can have transparent sections, JPEGs you can't. If you check this additional box, it will also convert all the ones with transparency. And the results are quite often not what you'd like. So this is rarely checked. I can't think of any instances where I want to check this, but maybe you do want to check it. I'm not going to convert mine to JPEG. I have my images as PNGs. Maybe I'll do that in the future. I'm just not ready to do that right now. CMYK to RGB conversion reduces the image size even further because CMYK is not required on the internet. It's true to life colors when you're printing, but RGB is true to life colors when you're viewing something on a screen. So if you don't plan on ever having your images printed, or you don't care if they're not perfect, if the colors don't match exactly when they're printed, then just choose this option and convert to RGB for smaller image sizes. You can go through each of these settings. I'm not going to read through every single one. I know you can read. I'm going to go to this important one down here. You can exclude certain images or certain thumbnails. Whenever you upload an image, it will create all of these images, at least on my site. So if you have WooCommerce, it's going to have a set of WooCommerce thumbnails on your site. A shop catalog, single thumbnail, these WooCommerce ones, all of these are WooCommerce ones. Badge OS, this is specific to my theme. This is a WordPress one. This is specific to the events custom post type. This is a theme specific one. This is these two are LearnDash ones. So you have all these types of images that are created on your site. You can choose to exclude them from optimization if you want to. Click on Save Changes whenever you're ready. If you use Cloudflare and you use the Cloudflare CDN, you can have Shortpixel compress the image and automatically update your Cloudflare CDN so you have the good images or faster loading images loading on your site. Statistics shows how much compression you've done. You're going to end up saving a whole lot of space. If you go and if I go and re-optimize those 11,000 thumbnails, I'm going to save a boatload of space in the server, a boatload. So this is handy, interesting information to have right here. If you click on WP Resources, there's other recommended plugins and people that Shortpixel works with. You can check those out if you want to. But if we go to Advanced or even General and click on Save and go to Bulk Process, this is where we can start to bulk process images. We have original images, 985. So those are on by default. Click on this button to compress those. Smaller thumbnails, 11,000 of them. Check that box, click this button, then we're going to start processing all the thumbnails already or as well. And you can restore the media library, and you can delete Shortpixel metadata. So you can basically revert back, if you want to get rid of Shortpixel for whatever reason, you can revert back to all the original stuff and be back to all your originals. I'm not going to do the bulk processing right now, but I am going to show you a large image. I'm going to upload it to the site right now, a large JPEG, and we're going to see what kind of compression we get. So over here, I have this large image of a nice foggy morning in Tuscany. And if we look at the image size, it is 25 megabytes, 6,000 by 4,000. I'm not going to reduce the dimensions in this case. I'm just going to upload the image and see what kind of compression we get. Once this image is uploaded, it's going to start being compressed right away with the default option we chose before, either lossy, glossy, or lossless. I believe I kept mine at lossy, I'm pretty sure. So if we go back to our media library, we see that the image is waiting to be processed. I'm just going to pause this video and come back when this is done. Oh, it's done already. There we go. So lossy compression, which is again the lowest quality. So it's the one that compresses the most, it reduced this image size by 93.66%. So let's just head into Edit to go to the image page. And we can see the file size is now at 2 megabytes. When we uploaded it, it was 20 megabytes. I'm going to download this image because we're going to compare these just a second. So I'm going to save image. I'm going to put it into that folder where I got it from. I'm going to call it Shortpixel Lossy. And now I'm going to click this little button right here, this hamburger icon. And I'm going to re-optimize with Glossy, which is the middle one. This is the one that was suggested for photographers and people who like to have large images that need to maintain their quality. And we're going to see what kind of image compression we get with Glossy. So I'm just going to pause the video and wait till this is done. So the Glossy reduced about the same, 92.23%. I'm going to hard refresh this page, Command-Shift refresh. That will reload this image in the Glossy because we currently still have the Lossy one here. So when I reload, it should reload all the newly optimized images. And I'm going to save this one to the hard drive as well. Going to call this SP Glossy, save. Now I'm going to click on the hamburger icon again and compress it as Lossy. And you might be wondering, how is this possible? How can I compress it to lossless and then glossy and then lossy and still have good quality? It's because we are actually using the original image. So we uploaded the original. The original stays on the server, and Shortpixel is now making optimized copies of the original. So it just made a lossy copy earlier, then it made a glossy copy. Now it's going to go back to the original, and when I click lossless, it's going to make a lossless copy. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to pause again until this is done processing, and I'll be right back when that is finished. We're back, and a reduction was 8% in file size. I'm going to hard refresh again and download the new version of this image so we can compare file sizes. As we see, this one was 22 megabytes, and the original was 25. So it's not a great reduction, but this is a pixel for pixel identical image to the original, which, I mean, we still got 3 megabytes compression. So that's better than nothing because we're basically identical to the original, but it's still not as great as the compression we had with the others. I'm going to save this one to the hard drive as well. So now that I've shown you the process of compressing on the image page itself, I want to show you one more thing. If we go back to the library, we have the same hamburger icon on the right-hand side over here. Click on that. We have the same options as we did in the back end. And we also have Optimize Now buttons for images that have not been optimized yet. And we have Test for Free buttons, which you can test a certain number of images for free. So I encourage you to go ahead and do that because image compression will speed up load times on your site, especially if you've never done it before. There can be some really big images out there and you don't even know they're that big until you look at the file size and you think, oh my goodness, why is that image so big? And sometimes images are really big. So let's go and compare the different compression rates for PNGs, JPEGs, GIFs, and PDFs. So what we have is the JPEG that we just did. So we had the original, which we can see here is 25 megabytes. And the lossy version is down to 1.6 megabytes. And if you compare the two, if I preview this, so we have the lossy one right here. And if I now click on the OG up here, the original, and look at the difference in how it looks. Wait for it. Here's the original. Not the best way to compare, but they do look very, very similar. Just looking at it like this, at this resolution, I can't tell the difference. And it's like the plugin said, it's indistinguishable to the human eye, the difference in these two. And then the glossy one is 1.9 megabytes, so it's a bit bigger. And it looks pretty much the same. And the lossless is 23 megabytes. So none of the pixels were changed in this one. And it's the best quality you can get. This is for technical drawings and things like that. Glossy being for photographers and lossy just being for regular web stuff. And I also made another one through Photoshop. I optimized the image in Photoshop. And this is how it looks Photoshop optimized. And the size is 5 megabytes. So the smallest size is lossy using the plugin. And the Photoshop one, you can tell there's a difference. You can, if you look at these trees back here, they're nice orangey red. If we go to the Photoshop one, they are a little grayed out. The Photoshop one, you can, if you go back and forth, you can definitely tell a difference between the Photoshop and the lossy, and between the Photoshop and the original, more than likely. Same situation, grayed out. So let's just, I'm just going to rename this to SP0. So if we cycle through these, like from the original to the lossy, I can't tell a difference. I'm going back and forth between them right now. Oh wait, I just saw a difference right there. So the lossy is a little bit dark. You can tell in these trees back here, this forested area, that there is a reduction in the quality. That's the part that stands out the most. And if we go to glossy, that has the same issue in the trees. It's a little bit better than the lossy one. So if we go between lossy and glossy, we see that these trees back here are a little bit more defined in the glossy. And you go to lossless, and that's going to be just like the original. So either way, this plugin does a pretty great job of keeping the image quality while still reducing the size. And the Photoshop, this is the tutorial I did a while ago, and this is how I've always done my images, is optimizing in Photoshop. But now I'm going to just use this plugin because the lossy version of this plugin is actually better than the Photoshop version. And the Photoshop version is down to 5 megabytes for this JPEG, and the lossy version is 1.6. So the size is almost 4 times, about three and a bit times smaller than the Photoshop one, and it's better quality. If we look at PNGs, it's a different story. So if you look at this original image for the PNGs, or pings, or whatever you want to call them. So this is a blog post header on my site, and the original one is 1.6 megabytes. And Photoshop compressed is down to, wait for it, 403 kilobytes. And you can tell there's a bit of a difference. It's very slight, you can tell it. I don't know if you can even see on the video playback, so it'll be a little fuzzy on YouTube. There's a small difference, it's very small. If you go to lossy, the file size is actually a little bit bigger than the Photoshop version. So the Photoshop version is 403 and the lossy version is 445 from the plugin. And glossy is the same as lossy for this image. And lossless is 1.6, which is the same as the original. So that's what happened with the PNGs. If we have a GIF, an animated GIF, here it is right here, it's raining. The original is 2.7 megabytes. The lossy version from the plugin is 1.5 megabytes. It's still raining. They didn't get rid of the rain, just reduce the size. Glossy version is also 1.5, and the lossless is 2.7, which is the same as the original. And if we go to the PDF, if yours aren't optimized, that could be a lot more difference in the quality, but for mine there wasn't much difference. But either way, the plugin does GIFs, JPEGs, PNGs or PNGs, and PDFs. And if you go through my affiliate link and you get the free version, you get a bonus 50%. And if you upgrade, I get a cut. It doesn't cost more to you. They just give me a cut of whatever you paid. And it helps keep the lights on. And you also keep that 50% going. So no matter what plan you're on, you get a bonus of 50% every time it renews, which is every month. So you get 50% more every single month just by going through that link down there. So if you want to check it out, check out the link. And that is Shortpixel image compression. So that's how it works. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon so you don't miss anything. Check out our Facebook group, link in the description. And next, click one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you can get even better at WordPress. Until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.